Hello, colleagues. This time we will talk about decision making and we will analyze it both at micro and micro level, basically, micro and macro level. Micro, when I will talk, I will mean mostly internal, which affects you and your behavior in general, and macro when it relates to, say, an organizational matter where you have to decide on something. And the reason I'm bringing in micro here is that micro decision has huge power to alter you itself, and thereby it any which ways will enable your success in the organization. But whether it's micro or macro, while we come into the details in this next section, it's a powerful tool. Decision making is a very powerful tool. And most of the time it gets confused that decision making is only about saying yes to something. No, it's both. It's saying yes to something, yeah, a unique thing, well defined thing. And at the same time, it is also saying no to many other things. That has to be kept in mind very, very clearly. That it is a combination of a yes and more than one knows. Yeah. So that is what the decision making is all about. Let's look at micro first. So as you can imagine that most of our actions or the things that we do, whatever, are based on auto programming. It's like a sequence that happens, you know. We almost like react to most of the things we don't know while you're wearing a watch, wearing a belt, while you're going out, driving a car, uh, morning getting up, getting ready. Most of these things are spontaneous. They are not looking for your interventions. And sometimes when there are external actions happening, you react, and that also is almost like auto programming. But what I want to say is we can intercept and we can intervene. Somebody can also say that if we don't intercept and intervene, it's all like living an accidental life. And if we can consciously choose. And this conscious decision has the power to change our life. And the idea is how many times you are able to do this intervention, how many times you are able to intervene and take a conscious call of whatever is happening, whether it's entertaining a thought, whether is speaking a word, or whether it is action that you are going to take. Each of these are decision points, internal, very, very close to you, very, how do I say, non-external, so to say. It's very intrinsic that you can do in the day many times a day. And the more you do it, the more super influence you will be able to exert on how you navigate through the life. And that's what I was saying, that if it is a micro level thing, and if you really lead a conscious decision life or a conscious life, you will have a way to fundamentally alter you for the positive and for the success. Now let's move on to macro, which we relate to more in office space or similar such spaces. So step one, and it is very simple. What you want to achieve or what you want to solve. Sounds very, very simple, but two or three things let me tell you here. One, don't let any suggested option by anyone guide you at this stage, because once you're defining the problem, this is not the time to think about a solution. No, don't do that. Let it be crystallized. Let it be crystal clear to you what exactly is the problem that you want to solve. Be razor focused on that. You should be able to articulate it, verbalize it clearly to yourself and others. What problem you are going to solve. Seems an easy step, but it's not so as per my observations in real life. I have seen people understanding the problem or around it, but not really to the last level of details. Second one, which is creating and gathering data points. The more data you are able to gather around your decision, the better your decision will be. And it's rather an easy step compared to the first one. Gathering data is a sequential exercise, a scientific exercise. You can, if you apply yourself to it, if you have decided that you will gather data, it will just work beautifully for you. Now the phase three, which is obviously looking at alternatives. Now please do understand that this step must be done after data gathering. I have seen many people doing this. First they look at alternatives and then they find the supporting data points. That will create biasness, which is not right. Your decision has to be as unbiased as possible based on the database, right? So, and sometimes if we like an option already, we might start assembling data in a way to support our decision on that. So that should not happen. That's why it's very critical that looking at alternative step should be done only after data gathering. And this is the place where you have to apply your imagination as well. Whenever alternatives are being there, you are thinking about it, you have to apply imagination. And as we had discussed, and as you probably know, that imagination is a matter of practice. The more we practice it, the better, larger, and more interesting imagination that we get. Next step is relating the alternatives to original problem. So while you were working on the alternatives, you might realize that not all of them is solving the exact original problem. And that's the time to already throw them out. Because yes, there could be some good, nice things to happen for you, for your organization, for the team, for whatever setup that you're looking for. But these are not the decision that you were originally started to take. So remove those from this. You can still do those, but that will not solve your original problems. Please do link at this stage. Yeah. And then choose an act. And at the cost of repeating myself, choosing is not only choosing one, but choosing is choosing one and at the same time rejecting others. So be firm at this time. Whatever you're rejecting, that's out. That will not be done at this moment. And I will also suggest a non-conventional step at this time, a sub-step, so to say, at this time. That when you have this alternatives there with you, the alternatives which will solve your actual problems, don't force yourself to decide in a given hour. Park it in your mind, let it run with it, give it a day or two, your mind will suggest. And that's the beauty of intuition coming and helping you over to take your decision. Yeah. So this is a step which I'll suggest. It has helped me many times. It has helped probably other people also many times. That's why I'm suggesting this. Yeah. The next one, I mean, after the action is done, etc., please do follow up. What happened? What did it actually solve? What were the side effects? Who contributed in while implementing this decision, and in which way they contributed to this? And if at all from this learning, what would you do differently next time? This is what hones your decision making for future and makes you succeed faster and better. So, wishing you a lot of conscious decisions and successful ones at that. All the best. Thank you.